here.
Welcome. One sec. Let's give them a sec. Let's give them a sec for some people to get here. Okay. While we're giving you guys a sec, I'm gonna get the trivia, like get the stuff all pulled up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, how?
No. I'm so excited because a lot of people received the that announcement really well. The comments were very nice and happy. And also now that like school's out, we have a lot more people who are available to watch these sorts of things.
True.
So that's very nice. I like that a lot. Okay. And I really wanted to share this trivia with you last night as I was making it because I was like, it's so funny. Not last night, the night before.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I like it a lot.
But that would defeat the purpose because that would give me time to study.
I know, but like it's funny. I was quite proud of myself there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's becoming a mukbang.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what we're gonna be doing, do you think I should start explaining now or wait for some more people? Let's wait for more people.
I can wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We have almost double digits.
Yeah.
So.
Still gonna be posting like weekly. I almost said daily. Oh no. Still gonna be posting weekly videos, but we're also gonna be doing Getting Awkward with Allison once a week also. Now, why is it Getting Awkward with Allison and not Getting Awkward with Allison and Peyton? Well, I want to do this like long term. So once I go back to school in Boston, Peyton won't be there, and I can continue doing it with my roommate or other friends there. So. And also, I always said if I ever had a TV show, I would want it to be called Getting Awkward with Allison because I think that's really fun and funny. Sue me.
Yeah, 20 minutes. We're good enough to go, I think.
Yeah. I love how, I know I said this before, we kind of match. We did not plan this. She's got stripes this way and mine this way. So yeah, what essentially we're going to be doing is I wrote a bunch of Rick Riordan trivia questions. And I'm going to ask Peyton, and she's going to try to guess them. And now she's...
Am I allowed, like, is this like, I don't remember the game show, but like where I get, like, Phone a Friend, Wheel of Fortune, like,
Well,
I don't remember the rest of them.
I don't think you'll get a chance to, really, because once I ask the question, Peyton's going to be able to respond. And see, there's a delay between when we say stuff and when you hear it. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be participating also. See if you can beat Peyton in trivia. So yeah, I'm going to ask the question. She's going to, if she can't figure it out, then you guys are probably going to be able to get it. But yeah, as soon as you hear it, type away so that, and we're also going to keep track of Peyton's points and also individual people in the chat. So I want to see if we can have somebody, some incredible fan out there. One of you lucky lads, lasses, something in between, anything in between. So, yeah, without any further ado.
To preface this, Alice considers herself the top scholar in the country on Rick Riordan.
In the world.
In the world. On Rick Riordan, verse, the Riordanverse in general. Mm-hmm. She's a top scholar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, these questions might get very obscure. I'm sure they will.
Some of them are more, like, well-known. Some of them are, like, stuff that only I know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, here's the thing. I also like to collect, weird statistics about these books.
She does collect very weird statistics about the books.
I do, because I want to know. Sometimes I'll just have a question, and like for instance, what's the ratio between like narrators who are straight and narrators who are gay, and like narrators who are white and narrators who are POC? So, like, I go through and I figure out how many pages every single character narrates, and then I add up all the pages that every single character narrates.
She has an Excel document of multiple of these studies that she's done on Rick Riordan books.
I've done many studies. And in case you're wondering, there's a higher ratio of gays to straights than there is of women to like, boys.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. He does not write from the perspective of women very much. But it's like almost 50-50 with the gays, mostly because of Apollo and Magnus.
That'll do.
Yeah. Anyway, so there are, there's only one that regards my statistics, so you kind of just have to guess.
Awesome.
So anyways, without any further ado, let's get Stardiaroo. And by the way,
Shit.
thank you for the compliments on my stickers. I have many. First question. What is the Rick Riordan book?
The longest Rick Riordan book?
Yep. Out of the Riordanverse.
Oh, isn't it? It's either Mark of Athena or House of Hades.
So you guys can guess also.
My gut?
Up, House of Hades.
I was like, that was my gut. Go was House of Hades, and I was like, I know Mark of Athena's
Okay,
close.
that was from. Can you read out for me? A.I.
Oh.
O-man-Y-T-E. I don't know how to pronounce that. A-I. O-man-Y-T-E. But you get 1 point.
1 point.
Correct answer is House of Hades.
That's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to like say it just like because that was my gut instinct. But I was like, that seems too obvious.
Follow your gut, my dear.
All right.
Question number 2. Which Rick Riordan book is dedicated to Melpomene, the muse of tragedy?
Muse of tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Blood Olympus is one to the fans because it's like sorry for the cliffhanger, not.
Actually, that was House of Hades. Blood of Olympus was sorry about the apology for the last cliffhanger.
Right.
Oh, Ari got it. Burning Maze.
What?
The Burning Maze.
Oh no. Okay.
Because Jason died, so he dedicated the book
Oh.
to Melpomene, the muse of tragedy.
I see.
Okay.
Oh.
Next question. How many I figured you would laugh, so I want to.
Good call.
How many funerals has Annabeth attended for loved ones who later came back?
What? Okay, loved ones who later came back.
There's many.
3?
Nope.
4?
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
You got it before they did. People are guessing 2.
I was like, I knew
It's
2
4.
definite, but I'm like, but I couldn't remember.
Because it was Thalia
Okay, Miss Thalia. I got Percy and I got Leo.
and
Were the 2.
Magnus.
Okay, Magnus. Okay.
So that's 4. So Peyton, you got a point.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, next one. What is Riptide's original name in ancient Greek?
Oh my God. Starts with an A.
That is true.
As I think they got it.
Yep. Joanna Santos. I can't speak English.
I was like, it starts with an A. That's all I got.
Joanna Santos got it. It's Anaclosmos. Something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, Anaclosmos. Okay. Next one. Who is the only canon left-handed character?
Canon left Magnus, right?
Yeah.
I knew that.
Okay, next question. True or false, Blitzen is good at Frisbee?
False.
We'll see who gets true first. Okay, Kaylin.
John and Bridget.
Oh, John and Bridget Lucas. There we go. Here we go. John and
Who would have thought?
Bridget.
Was that in Ship of the Dead?
Nope, that was in the first book.
Ah, shit.
Sword of Summer.
I haven't read, don't at me, I haven't read Ship of the Dead yet.
So the answer is true. He is good at Frisbee.
Damn. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Next one. Adele is the favorite artist of which character?
Adele?
Adele.
Leo Valdez?
No.
Damn.
Oh, Kaylin Hall got it. It's Sadie Kane.
Oh. That explains why I didn't know that.
Yeah, Peyton has not read the Kane Chronicles. I could put some questions in here just for the sake of you guys, but I told her, I was like, if you don't know it, chances are it might be Carter or Sadie. So I did give you a possible chance of getting that. But anyways, so far, you're winning. You have 2 points. And several people have 1 point.
Awesome.
Yep.
It's all not ganging up on me, that's good.
Yeah.
I'd be out.
Okay.
So fast.
Who narrates the most in the Heroes of Olympus series?
Oh, I feel like I know this. Piper, right?
Nope.
Nope. We're Jason.
Nope.
Nope. Fuck.
Oh, Ari got it. It's Leo.
Ah, shit.
It's Leo. Ari's got 2. Oh, she's tied with you, Peyton.
Shit!
They're tied with you. Okay. Which Magnus Chase character laid down on the main Rainbow Bridge and made snow angels?
So pure, it has to be hers.
Nope.
Ah, shit!
Alex, who got it first? Okay, it was Alex. That was Sid C. Cool.
Goddamn.
Yep, it was Alex Fierro. They were talking to Heimdall, and she got bored and just walked off, lay down on the Rainbow Bridge, and started making snow angels. Iconic.
Iconic.
Okay. Where at Camp Half-Blood was the entrance to the labyrinth located?
Oh, it was shit.
Potty mouth.
I'm sorry.
Zeus's fist. Evelyn Munoz. Munoz. Evelyn Munoz with an O.
Yeah, Munoz.
Okay. Yep, it was Zeus's fist.
I was gonna say a cornfield.
I don't think there's a
Shit.
cornfield. You're still tied with Ari, don't worry. Okay. We meet 2 sons of Aphrodite / Venus in the Riordanverse saga. Name one of them.
That little boy was so Hephaestus. I'm sure someone's gonna get it over there.
I'll give you a hint. Both start with an M. Oh, Mitchell. Ari! It was Mitchell and Michael
Yes.
Kahale.
Oh,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah. So Ari is winning with 3 points.
I'm not shocked. I had a hunch I would lose.
Oh, come now. I believe in you. Which came first, Percy Jackson's Greek gods or Percy Jackson's Greek heroes? I put them in alphabetical order to make it neutral. So which came first, gods or heroes?
It was Heroes, right?
No.
Shit.
Okay, Annabelle Farrow got it. Peyton, I believe in you.
I don't. At least one of us does.
You got this. I believe in you. What is the name of the monster that killed Hearthstone's brother? Now that you can do the name in English or the name in like Norse. Either works. You guys better not be looking this stuff up because you better not be cheating. You better not be looking this up.
I have absolutely no idea.
Peas and well, that's it. Sage, follower of Loki, got it. So the name is Brunmiji, but it translates out to he who pees in the well. That's an actual like monster in Norse mythology whose name is actually pees in well.
Very interesting.
Fun fact. Makes a sense that a follower of Loki would get that one.
Makes total sense.
Okay. What animal? Okay, I don't think you'll get this one.
I haven't gotten most of them, so I doubt it.
What animal did Rachel dare see leaving the Brooklyn house in Tower of Nero? Now, people who read Kane Chronicles would know this because it's a reference to Kane Chronicles.
Was it the cat?
No. Shit. Not the cow. Those were like just hang outside. But like, what was penguin? That's it. Dogger Fishbra 1200. Yep, it was a penguin because there's this one kid who's like obsessed with penguins. And like, and so when Rachel's like, yeah, there's this house next door. I saw a penguin walk out, and it's like everyone's like, oh my god, it's a Brooklyn house from like the Kane Chronicles series. Yep, Felix and his penguins. He loves penguins. I love that kid. Which came first, the Demigod Diaries or the Demigod Files?
Where's the files?
Yep, you got it. You got it. You're tied with Ari.
Felix the icon.
What an icon! I know, like that kid is iconic. Okay. What is the name of Rick Riordan's first non-binary character? This was from Ship of the Dead, so
shit.
Language.
You didn't say we were family friendly on this.
Friendly Felix. Not Alex Fierro because they're gender fluid.
Yeah, she's gender fluid.
Yeah, gender fluid. But I'm talking non-binary. This character's from Ship of the Dead.
Were they only in Ship of the Dead, or was it just announced? Oh, I have absolutely no idea then.
Alex is gender fluid, not non-binary.
Is it just Loki?
Pottery Barn, that's the name. Their name was Pottery Barn. Okay, once again, wait, wasn't that yep, Doggerfish Bruh 1200. I love that name.
What a guy. What a fella.
Yeah, they got 2 now. Yep, the name's Pottery Barn. Iconic. Which character does not dream in color? Rather, they dream in black, white, and various shades of gray.
It's really weird.
Carter, Sage, follower of Loki, got it. It's Carter Kane. Sage, you got 2, bruh. Okay. Peyton, I think you'll get this one.
I hope so.
Prior to Camp Half-Blood Confidential, who was the only demigod known to have seen the Camp Half-Blood orientation film?
Oh, Nico D'Angelo!
Yep, that's correct. Peyton, you got 4 now. You're winning. So I want to check if the doors open upstairs.
Hello, folks.
Nope.
This is very exposing for me. I'm not a big fan, I promise. I have shit memory.
And you're also a Nico D'Angelo stan.
I am a Nico D'Angelo stan.
In this house, we love and respect Nico D'Angelo.
Nothing but love and respect for my boy.
Yeah, recently I've been talking to my mom a lot about these books, you know, and just kind of explaining the plot.
Yeah.
And she's like, so what's up with this Nico character?
That's great.
She's very confused. But yeah, she feels very bad for him. How can you not? What else is she? Yeah, we've been talking a lot about this stuff. I feel like she's slowly beginning to understand me through like understanding this stuff, you know?
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
She's like, this is actually kind of neat. She really liked the Dead Moms tier list. She thought that was really funny. She's like, what's up with all the moms?
Good question.
She was laughing her butt off that whole video. She thought it was so funny.
That's funny.
And you know, when I was filming it, I had like my mom in mind. Like, I'm like, okay, how do I explain all this stuff to somebody with a limited knowledge of it, you know? But yeah. Anyways, who is the captain of the Egyptian queen who is bound to serve the Kane family within reason, but can only be summoned once a year in times of great need? Someone asked, what's up with the dog in your videos? Well, I have a dog, and sometimes she's in videos. The axe, bloody axe. What's the name of the axe boy? What's the name of the knife dude? Oh, bloody axe. What? Come on. Bloodstained blade. Bloodstained blade. That's it. Jai got it. J-I-Y got it. His name is Bloodstained Blade.
That's tough.
Yeah. But people they were like, something, it's like a bloody blade. It's a bloody knife, man. Big axe dude. His name is Bloodstained Blade. Peyton, I don't think you're gonna get this one, but it's okay. What's the name of Frank's Argonaut ancestor?
His Argonaut ancestor?
Yeah, the one with like...
Who sailed with Jason and the Argonauts?
Yeah. The one with like the shape-shifting powers.
Kevin.
Almost. Not Jason. Jason was not his ancestor. No.
It is in son of Neptune, Emily.
Well, like, I mean, that's like when it's like revealed, but like they continue to talk about it. He's like, oh yes, my ancestor. Yep, that's close enough. Spelling isn't quite right, but Emma Zera got it. It's Pericleminus. I'm not taking off points for spelling because like I would not be able to spell that name. It's like Pericleminus, something like that. This is the last one I wrote down, but I could think up more on the spot if you'd like. Okay, so this is based off, I thought this is funny. So this is not canon, but I found this on the Wikipedia page and I was like, that sounds really fake. So then I looked and I searched and I did ye old Control F through like these books trying to find answers, and this is not canon. Somebody just made it up and put it on the Wikipedia page.
Amazing.
But I thought it was funny.
Okay.
So this is not actually canon. I can confirm that, but it is kind of funny. So, which demigod hero, according to Wikipedia, is 6'6"?
6'6"?
I saw this, I was like, what?
Demigod?
Yep. Not Frank, no, not
my
Aaron,
guess was
no.
my initial guess is fine.
All of them?
Gee, no. Nico's not 6'6".
No.
Will Solace.
Nope.
Damn it.
I've been seeing a lot of guesses, but no correct ones yet. Oh, Molly! You got it. It's Clarice.
Oh!
6'6".
That's terrifying.
I know! And like, I went through every single book, and I did ye old Control F, or for the Mac users, Command F, and there is not canon. It is not. It's said nowhere in the books, but for some reason it's on the Wikipedia page.
Amazing.
Likewise, people seem to be convinced that Leo is 5'6", and they're like, it was said in The Lost Hero, and I'm like, well, according to ye old Control F, it is not said anywhere in any book. Likewise, people, like, they make up some of the birthdays for some of these characters, but, like, a lot of it's not canon. You know, most of these birthdays and heights that you see are not canon. Let me tell you.
Wow.
People are convinced that Leo's birthday is July 7th because 7/7 and, like, he's associated with the number 7, but that's not true. That's not canon. That is not canon. And I refuse to believe that he's 5'6", because I'm 5'3", and I'm like, in high school I was 5'1", so I refuse to believe that boy was and still is taller than me, considering that everyone's always like,
I find it hard to believe he's only an inch shorter than me.
Yeah.
Especially since everyone's like, oh, little Leo, he's such a short
Yeah,
stack.
everybody always is like, oh yeah, he's so short, he's such a shorty McShort. But I'm like, what? Same thing with like all of the heights. People keep making up heights for them. They're like, oh yeah, Hazel is 5'3", and I'm like, I'm 5'3" now as an adult. That's a 13-year-old. I've never like there probably is a 5'3" 13-year-old out there, but they must be tall for their age.
Yeah.
That's just not a thing. It bothers me that people seem to think that like the shortest character is 5'3", and I'm like, what? Where'd you get that from? But yeah, so the winner is Peyton with
Miraculously.
Peyton got 4, and in second place we have Ari with 3. And then in third place, tied, is Sage, follower of Loki, with 2, and Dogger Fishbra 1200.
You got a lot of 5'4", 13-year-olds in the comments who are very upset with you right now.
A lot of 5'3", 13-year-olds. Look, I worked at a summer camp with kids ages 9 to 12, and the 12-year-olds, none of them were taller than me. Not a single one. And 13's only a year older than that. There was not a single 12-year-old who was taller than me. They were all significantly... The 12-year-olds were all significantly shorter than me.
Yeah. People are just tall nowadays. Everyone's tall.
Yeah, a lot of people are tall. I think it's just because, like, humans are getting, like, more... I wouldn't say we're eating better because we eat a lot of junk food, but we do get more balanced nutrients.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we get more balanced nutrients, but we also have a lot of fat and sugar, you know? But at the same time, the nutrients themselves, we're getting most of them. We're not getting our vitamin D, and there's a couple others. I forget. I took nutrition last semester, and I already forget everything. Some people are saying that Peyton should come up with some and quiz me.
I can't come up with any on the spot like that.
I can think of some. I can think of some off the top of my head. Okay. Because I want to keep this going. This is fun, right?
Yeah.
Or do you want to, like, stop while you're ahead?
Honestly, it could only go down from here. That's fine with me.
Oh, come on. You're doing great, honey dear.
Sorry, my knees keep hitting them things. I got big legs.
She does have long leggies. That is true.
No, long legs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what else?
Leg.
Leg.
From Europe with no idea how tall I am. Our poor European bros. I'm so sorry.
We're all talking 5'3". Sorry, I don't
How
speak.
tall are you, Pam? I am 5'7.5". Thank you very much.
I am 5'3". It's a recent revelation that I am now 5'3".
Which character canonically had/has asthma, if you would like to answer?
I remember this. This is tickling part of my brain. Somebody used to have asthma. I vaguely remember this.
Oh boy.
Maybe it was Magnus? I think it was Magnus. Yeah. People agree. I got that.
Good job!
I did know that. It tickled the back of my brain. I was like, something to...
That'd be fun if they ask questions in the comments.
Yeah, that's super fun. You guys should ask us trivia and see if we can get it.
Yeah. Or quiz her. She's the... It's like, listen.
Uh-huh.
You remember that thing that was like...
There's a first grader in my school who's up to my shoulders, and he is up to my shoulders.
Oh, God. That's awful.
How old are you? How tall are you? How tall are your shoulders? What were you saying?
Remember that thing, like Akinator, where you try to stump Akinator?
Yeah.
You could be Akinator and they try to stump you.
Try to stump me. How old is Percy currently? Well, it depends on when Tower of Nero ends, because we're not entirely sure when it ends. I'm pretty sure it ends sometime in June, but we don't know when exactly in June. Doesn't matter though. He's definitely still 17 because he...
the chair bar in sort of summer.
Oh, chair? The chair was Rump-Ruster. Or Keisterholm. Oh, I read that last night. I literally reread that section last night because I was considering making that a question. It was like Keisterholm and like the other like Rump-Rust, something like that.
What is the name of the alligator in Kane Chronicles?
Oh, that's it's a conqueror, old ancient name. Not it's like something like Alexander the Great, but it was like something else. It was some other like Macedonia, something of Macedonia. Philip of Macedonia. I got it. I did it.
You just watched her like whole thought process just happen.
And yeah, Percy is 17 because the book ends sometime in June, possibly July, but his birthday's in August, so like he's definitely still 17. Someone said, which Norse god did Chiron have a meeting with? Oh, that was Mimir, the severed head.
What is Magnus's birthday?
Oh, that's January 8th? Let me double check.
That's my dog's birthday. I don't think so.
Oh, that's lit. Oh, maybe 16th. I think it's January 16th. Let me check.
That's everybody's birthday. I know like 3 people whose birthday is January 16th. It's ridiculous. Cameron's birthday is January 16th. My great-grandmother, my great-nan's birthday was January 16th. And my uncle Thomas's birthday is January 16th.
Okay, so it doesn't list his birthday on the Wikipedia, but there is a page for important dates, and they include... Here we go. January 13th! I was so close. Oh, yeah. You got me there. January 13th.
You stumped Akinator. Congratulations.
Oh.
Thank you. They're twins, and I love them.
You gotta read the question, okay, for the people who watch, like, afterwards. Somebody said happy early birthday for
Peyton. I told them my dogs wish my dogs a happy early birthday. I can show you a picture of my dogs. They're really cute.
So Tally Smith asked, what's the name of the goddess of misery? And her name is Achilles.
Good job.
I didn't even have to think about it. House of Hades? I'm like an expert on House of Hades.
She really is. Like, don't even remotely come for her in that regard.
I wrote a musical.
It's true, she did.
What were the name of the creatures at Mount St. Helen during the Battle of Labyrinth? Telcanes. Yeah. Dog sealmen. Yeah. Telcanes.
I'm not going to picture them together. There we go. There's a good one of them together.
It's crazy.
There's my dogs. They're bulldogs. I love them. Anyway, there you go.
Oh, they are amazing. My dad calls them Tootsie Rolls.
They are his Tootsie Rolls, yes.
It's crazy. I've followed you guys since I was 15, and I'm a sophomore in university now. Aw, I love that.
We're seniors in university. It's gross.
I'm halfway through my junior year because I took a semester off.
Oh, right. I'm a senior now. It's gross.
Guys,
I'm in a master's program. I'm like, bleh. Gross. I'm old.
History major.
Yes, I am a history major.
I am a major in media arts production because I make things. I do make videos.
Shocker.
What a shocker. Who composed the score for Pietro Jameson? I'm guessing that's like a play on Percy Jackson, but the score for the Percy Jackson movies, those are not within the Riordanverse. They're evil. They do not exist within the Riordanverse. What literary figure did Magnus compare Halfborn to? I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Is it Paul Bunyan?
Maybe. I could see that. Maybe like, I don't know. I've been following you guys for about a year, and you always make me smile. Aw, you guys make me smile. How to wash a dryer, yes or no?
Yes.
Maybe.
That was an option, Allison.
I like to think outside the box. Yeah. I hope you guys have been liking the fan art, like, of the day posts. Send me more on, like, my socials, totally. Because I love posting it. I love sharing that.
I forgot his name, so I can't remember his
What monster attacked Percy, Nico, and Bianca at the boarding school in Titan's Curse? Ooh. Oh, that was Dr. Thorne. He was a manticore.
Nice.
Someone said, I forgot his name, so I can't remember myself. See, the same person who asked what, like, literary figure doesn't even remember either.
I love it.
See, now I don't feel as dumb. We've fallen, but we can get up. I've been following you for a little more of a year now. You're my favorite YouTubers. Aw, that's so pure. We love this. You know, I always find it funny when people in the comments are like, whoa, you answered my comment? And I'm like, if you ask me a direct question, I will answer most of the time. Like, if you answer like a direct question, yeah. Because the way I see it is that with big YouTubers, they can't afford to really do that, you know, because there's way too many. Mm-hmm. And so they don't even bother at all, you know. But one of the nice things about having such a small, well, not like that small, but a manageable sized community is that I do have the ability to, like, do that. So why wouldn't I? And also, you guys make me happy. And I like feeling like this is a community. It's not one-sided thing. And also, I take suggestions quite a lot, so. Who was the first friend Magnus talked about Loki to? Probably Sam. Talked about to Loki. First friend Magnus talked about to Loki. So what was his first conversation? So Sam, I'm guessing. Probably
whoever
Sam.
he talked to with Loki about first. Was there a scene where, like, Magnus had to, like, prove himself and, like, sacrifice his friends, and which one did he have to talk about first? I don't know. I didn't read Ship of the Dead. I don't know.
I'm guessing Sam. I think it means like I think they mean in sort of summer when he first talked to Loki. Who was the first person he talked about? I think that's what they mean. Not entirely sure. What regiment was TJ in the Civil War? I feel like this is easy, but I don't know. He was just a soldier man boy.
Yeah, but they're asking which regiment.
501st. I don't.
501st. That is a Star Wars organization, my dear. I feel like for some, I don't know, the number 8 sticking in my head. I feel like he was in the 8th regiment, but I'm not sure.
I'm going with the 501st. Magnus Chase is like one of my like lesser like things.
Same.
Yeah. I'm going with the 501st. I hope you. I want to see if that was.
The 501st is a good organization.
It's a quality establishment.
It is. Oh, 54th Massachusetts, no.
I remember a 5. I do. I did remember the 5.
You said, I remembered the 5!
And I broke you. Oh, goodness gracious.
I adore Magnus Chase, that's why. That's why they have all this wealth of knowledge.
And their screen name is Follower of Loki.
Exactly.
It has like a picture of Alex Vieira for a profile picture.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Getting awkward with Allison. What color is Alex's shoelaces? Either green or pink. Stop asking me Magnus Chase questions.
Now I know your weakness.
They know my weakness. I mean, it's good, but, like, it's not my favorite. I love it, but it's just not my favorite. I love Hammer Thor. I quite like that one a lot. In the Atlanta Aquarium, which sea monster can regurgitate its food and keep itself fed for 6 years. I remember that scene is from Mark of Athena. It was the first Percy point of view section of that book. I don't remember that monster. I don't read that section much because that section, it was who went to go see to the aquarium? Well, it was Percy, Frank, and Coach Hedge, and Coach Hedge is the worst character in the Riordanverse, so I just kind of, I'm like, I don't reread that section because I hate that man. He makes every scene he's in worse. And I'm not afraid to say it. Just the worst. Aw. And this is a mukbang now.
Mm-hmm. Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
The two sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. We got 2 comments. One is like, I love Coach Hedge, and the other comment was...
So forgettable.
Yeah, he is so forgettable. The other is, I always forget he exists. But he does make every scene he's in worse. We just lost like 6 viewers.
I think you pissed them off with the Coach Hedge comment.
Okay, so here's the thing. Someone asked about Octavian. Here's the thing about Octavian. He's so funny to me. I just think his dialogue is so over the top hilarious. And I get that like Coach Hedge is also, but like it's in an annoying way. Cause like he's always in these scenes, but he contributes nothing to the scenes. He's just there. And like he's like Jar Jar Binks to me. He's just there to like make dumb jokes and annoy people. But he doesn't actually contribute anything at all. He never contributes. Except in The Lost Hero. And like I see his place in that book, you know? But like after that, he's just there for no reason. It just makes every scene he's in worse. But Octavian, on the other hand, Rick, he balanced it out. He doesn't insert Octavian in there without a purpose, you know? He's a character who has his purpose, he serves his purpose, and he doesn't overstay his welcome. And also, his dialogue cracks me up. He reminds me of Joffrey from Game of Thrones. You kids are too young to watch that.
Too young to watch that.
He reminds me of that so much. Whenever I like to read these books out loud, I do. At night, when everyone's sleeping, I'll like read a section out loud or a chapter or whatever. And whenever I do his voice, I'm like, my voice that I do whenever I'm reading Octavian dialogue, it's just like, well, it's like when they were talking about the praetors, he's like, now we have 3 praetors, and the rules clearly state we can only have 2. Just like, that's how I read all of his dialogue. And Percy's like, I'll step down for Jason, it's no biggie. And then Octavian says, no biggie! The praetorship of New Rome is no biggie! That's how I read all his dialogue. It's so fun. Ugh. Like, I feel like my eyes bug out whenever I'm doing it. A tragedy that Joey never had any dialogue as Octavian.
And honestly, it's a tragedy.
He just shows up and is just silently evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the books, he shows up and he's very vocally evil.
Yeah. Raw needs. That's funny.
I love that. Love that. So yeah, I'm so excited about these like weekly live streams. We're going to do so much fun stuff. Like, it's going to be great. I'd love to do like following a Bob Ross tutorial. I want to do that at some point. We could play some Connect 4, some Jenga.
Yeah.
Jenga would be hard because you need to see from all angles. No.
Yeah.
Connect 4 is good because it's like a nice like 2D sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Other stuff like talking about like the show and movies and stuff like that. You know, I was seriously considering sending in an audition tape of myself just going like, hello. But on the other hand, I would like to be casted as Percy Jackson. But on the other hand, I've already seen that a lot of people have like memed it because they put out like, it's so rare for some like for a production company to actually put out an open casting online so publicly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good thing. I think it's good that they make that as really public. I like that. I wish more places would do that. But the downside is that so many people have like spammed them with like BS. And I'm like, you're wasting their time and you're decreasing the chances that they'll do that again with anything else. So please don't ruin it. I like when they put out something so public like that, because it also helps an Allison who's looking for like, ooh, what's filming around here, you know? I like to know those sorts of things. So yeah. Fun fact. And I am a member of the film industry, even though the last video was not color corrected and I looked very greenish blue. I did not color correct like I should have. What goddess is Enceladus born to fight against? Athena. So anyways, somebody said that Nico and Will are like Katniss and Peeta from the Hunger Games, except gay. No, I don't think...
I can see it.
I can kind of see it. But, like, Nico's such a unique character. He's so defined by tragedy and trauma that, like, I can't think of... I can. But, like, there are very few characters who even rival that. Just how much trauma this child endures. Very few rival that. So, like, I get Katniss grew up in a very hard life, but, like, she's never been to hell. Never been to Tartarus.
Send the gay kids to hell.
Send this to super hell. Oh, goodness gracious. I want to go for an hour so we can make these like an hour each.
Okay.
I've got 20 more minutes. Hello, friends.
What would you like to talk about for the next 20 minutes?
Like, it's weird because there's so many things I'd love to talk about, but on the other hand, I want to save them for, like, you know.
Episodes that you could, like, do, like, a whole thing about them on.
Yeah. So, like, we need, like, some short 20-minute conversation. Have you guys watched Swiss Family Robinson?
Oh, boy. You sure you couldn't do a whole episode on just Swiss Family Robinson?
Nobody would watch it. Fun fact about me, growing up, I watched a lot of live-action Disney movies from the 50s and 60s. I watched a lot of them. So many. Quick question. Are you guys planning on doing a Towneer Derby? Of course. Yeah. We haven't started writing it yet.
Nope.
We might do that today. How long can you stay today?
Not too terribly long, because I know the storm's coming and I don't want the roads to be flooded. Because we were in a flash flood warning. But,
we did?
Yes. But, so as long as the roads aren't awful when I go to leave.
I didn't even know there was a storm coming. What?
Yep. It was really grimy outside. I was out running it because I think it was coming from the south.
Yeah. Yeah. Blood of Olympus rant. I'd love to go on a Blood of Olympus rant for you guys. Okay, so...
Spotlight.
So anyways, Blood of Olympus. Let me tell you, okay. Where do I even begin? I think Rick Riordan is very good at setting things up, but I don't think he's always good at paying things off because the way he writes, he has a very particular style of writing characters into stories where he kind of just writes a ton of characters and then they kind of come and go. Like, you look at in Percy Jackson and the Olympians, you know? In each book, he's kind of pulling at someone different. So that's why in The Lightning Thief, we introduce all sorts of characters. Percy, Annabeth, Grover. We also introduce people like Clarice and Selena and Beckendorf and all of them. And yeah, all these different characters. And then even like Will Solace is introduced in The Last Olympian. But then, like, you know, Sea of Monsters, he's like, I'm going to pick up Clarice, and then I'm going to put her down, you know? And then, you know, he introduces the Hunt of Artemis, and then they come, and then they go. So throughout the original series, characters just kind of come in, and then they come out. Same with Tyson, you know? He kind of comes, and then he goes. And then in the Heroes of Olympus series, this kind of shot him in the foot, because he introduces the Seven, and he also introduces Nico and Raina, who also are main characters, in my opinion, of that series. And he introduces all these characters, and he kind of shot himself in the foot because I think he got bored of some of them later down the line. And I understand that, like, you know, he always says, oh, well, with Blood of Olympus, what was the point of the Seven? You know, of the Seven being a group, if it's just going to be those three in the end, you know? And I think because of the fact that he introduces so many characters, as the books have gone on, this has become an increasingly problem for him because people become invested in these characters and they're like, we want to know what happens with this, but he doesn't have time to, go over everything with every character because he runs. Yeah. For instance, Nico and Will, people are like, we love this relationship. We wish we would have been able to see how that relationship, how they started dating, how he came out to Will, how all that began, the early days of Solangelo. But here's the thing, where would you have fit that in as Rick? Where would you have squeezed that in? Because Trials of Apollo is about Apollo. And so they're like, well, Solangelo is a bad couple because he didn't introduce as much. And I'm like, well, he shoved them meeting, well, not meeting for the first time, but really meeting and on an emotional level. And you see the beginnings of it, but you don't really see how they became a couple. But because of the fact that there's so many characters, there's so many things you could have done. And so much of Rick Riordan criticism online is just people saying, well, you could have done this. And I'm like, yeah, I can think of a million things he could have done. But you have to pick and choose your battles. So this definitely shot himself in the foot in Blood of Olympus because that's supposed to be the conclusion, the finale. And it's treated as though it's supposed to be about Jason, Piper, Leo, Nico, and Reyna. But, Percy, Hazel, Frank, Annabeth, they're also very important. We don't really get to see the fallout of Tartarus. We get some hints, like Percy admits to Jason that after trying to drown Achilles with her own poison, he feels awful about that. And so when this giant was trying to drown him, he was like, I let it happen. I was going to let this guy kill me because I felt like I deserved it. And then Annabeth has a mental breakdown in another scene, but we don't really get to go into their heads and see what they're feeling and what they're thinking. We don't. You guys are pretty cool.
Avery. It's Avery.
Hi, Avery. How's it going?
What's up?
We know that guy who just commented. I haven't talked to Avery in a long time.
He's a bro.
He's a bro.
The other day, but I'm not.
Yeah. So anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so is he texting you? You guys always pop up in my YouTube feed when I least expect it.
What's up, dude?
I don't even know if he's read any of these books. He's probably just confused. Anyways, so and then likewise with Frank and Hazel, they just kind of get dropped. Percy and Annabeth get just dropped so unceremoniously. And what really sucks is I feel like I have no confirmation for this, but I feel like that book, he had some sort of deadline and he couldn't meet it and something happened because that book was rushed. That book has more typos in it than any of his other books. That's one thing. And also, there's some scenes that are just cut. Let's talk about Piper, for instance, okay? Piper irritates me. But hear me out. In The Lost Hero, it makes sense that she's not very helpful with things because she doesn't know what she's doing. Makes sense. But then there's this gap between The Lost Hero and Mark of Athena. She has 6 months to prepare for this big, huge quest to save the world. And she spends it at Camp Half-Blood, a camp that teaches demigods how to use their powers and how to fight monsters and stuff. So she shows up there. She has no idea in Mark of Athena how she's still like, I'm not really that good at my trump speak. I don't know how to fight monsters. Oh, poor me. And I'm like, you haven't been practicing. Like, what's wrong with you? It's not until halfway through House of Hades that she decides, after the fight with Keone, that she decides, you know what, I'm going to ask Hazel to teach me how to do sword fighting. And I'm going to start, really practicing my charm speaking and getting good at that. And I'm like, wow, we're halfway through book 4, and you finally decide that you want to contribute. And she does contribute, but she doesn't work towards improving herself, to being more helpful. Anyways, so in Blood of Olympus, you kind of see there's a big moment that's cut from the book. Everyone talks about, oh yeah, there's this moment, Piper, she single-handedly fought off a whole flock of harpies all by herself, and it was epic, and she talked about it, and everyone else talks about it, and she's like, I'm now wearing their feathers in my hair as kind of a pride thing, but we never actually see that scene, and that sounds like that was a critical moment for her character, a big moment in her character development, but we just don't see it. Likewise with Frank, his ancestors his distant relatives in Pylos. Frank is set up as this character who is looking for a family, who's looking for a place, His mom died, his grandmother died, he got claimed by Mars, but he doesn't really, vibe with that. He doesn't vibe with the other Mars kids or with Mars himself. And with his friends, he feels so out of place. So he has a problem finding belonging. And then he finds out, wait, there's other people like me with the same powers as me, and we kind of are distantly related. I'm so excited for this. And so he finally gets there, and it's in Piper's point of view, and he's like, Piper, why don't you wait outside? I'll go in. And so that's what happens. We don't actually see the scene where he meets his relatives. It's in Piper's point of view, and she just waits outside. And then Frank comes back out, and she's like, how'd it go? And he's like, it went okay, but turns out they're pretty racist, and they did not like me, and I feel really conflicted about that. And I'm like, why didn't we not see this scene from Frank's point of view? Why was this scene not in the book? It seems like a pretty critical, major moment, but it's not there. Likewise, like I was saying with Percy and Annabeth and Tartarus, we get hints about what they're feeling, what they're experiencing, but we don't actually get to see.
Rick Riordan did this, pardon me, I'm a little ill, but he had this tendency to kind of like wrap up he had this habit of telling, not showing in Gods of Olympus, and it was at the worst possible moments where you, like, there's good times you can be like, okay, yeah, this happened, we're not going to show you everything that happened, but like, just know this happened, that's why this is working out the way it is. But he did that, he was like, yeah, I'll do that, that's a good strategy for this book, because I need to wrap so many strings up. But he did it for, like, the worst possible things he could have possibly done. Like, there were so many things he could have been like, yeah, this is good, but then he flushed it out. Or there were so many things where he could have been like, he was like, oh, this happened, but we're just not going to talk about it. But that would have been a perfect thing to, like, put in the book. Like,
I'm so glad that you brought up showing versus telling, because I've been thinking a lot about that ever since I got really back into the Swiss Family Robinson fandom. Hear me out.
how it always comes back to Swiss Family Robinson.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hear me out, though, right? So, I've been thinking a lot about showing versus telling, because everyone always tells you show, don't tell. But I do think there are some situations where telling is really useful and really needed. Because here's the thing about showing, is that showing, while it emotionally resonates more, it also takes more time. And if we showed every single thing, then, you know, let's say in a movie, it would be like a whole 24 hours long.
Yeah.
So you have to pick and choose your battles. What are you going to show and what are you going to tell? And also, you know, your book, you kind of have so many pages, considering how he has a deadline, you know? You can only write so much in such a given time. So what are you going to spend your time doing that with, you know? So you have to choose, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to not do? Like, for instance, Swiss Family Robinson, okay? In most stories of people being shipwrecked, Act 1 is dedicated to how they got shipwrecked. Showing their life showing their life before being shipwrecked, establishing their relationship with what they do, and then showing how they got shipwrecked. But Swiss Family Robinson is a very unique movie because it starts with they've just been shipwrecked, and then from there you have dialogue between the family talking about what happened and how they got there. And now, which that's interesting, that's unique, because they are literally telling, not showing, of how they got there and why they left Switzerland and all that sort of stuff. But it's so good because, first of all, these are conversations that they would have regardless, you know, so it's not like it feels like forced exposition. It makes sense that they would be talking about what just happened, you know? So it doesn't feel forced. And then second, by cutting out that hypothetical first act, it gives you more time to do what we came to see them do, a family shipwrecked on an island. I didn't come to see, you know, life struggling in Switzerland in 1810s. I came to see a family stranded on an island, you know? So by cutting that out, you give more time to see what we actually came to see. So sometimes telling can be really, really helpful and really productive and kind of necessary. But I think in Blood of Olympus, it's so overdone. And the stuff that he chooses to include is stuff that doesn't really develop the characters more, you know? Like, you have all these Jason Piper Leo point of view sections, but they don't really grow as people during these sections. They don't. Nico and Reina, their stuff is great because there's actual character development and growth. Through each trial and tribulation they face, they grow as people. But on the other side of things, they don't really grow with Jason Piper and Leo. And speaking of Leo, so you guys said that Rick is really good at setting things up and not paying things off. Leo's a great example of that. Such a good example of that. We meet him in The Lost Hero, and he's this guy who's so insecure, super duper insecure. He also bottles up his feelings because he learned as a young child that, hey, I show emotions, I show vulnerability, that's not going to get me anywhere. That's not going to get my needs met. he instead learned to just laugh it off, brush it off, and that's how he would get, friends. That's how he would make friends. That's how he would get his emotional needs met, even though they weren't fully being met. But that's the closest he would get through using humor. So throughout these books, he's really struggling on the inside. He's feeling a lot of conflict, but he doesn't talk about it. He'll tell them things, but he doesn't really get into the emotions of it. He'll say, yeah, Gaia killed my mom, but he won't talk about the trauma, the feelings that he's feeling over that. So you'd think that his character development would be about him learning to open up to people. You'd think that's what it would be about. Likewise, he has the love insecurity about being single. All of his friends are in a relationship, and he feels like he needs to be in one. He feels like he doesn't fit in, and if only he had a girlfriend, he would have that security. He feels like he needs that. He feels left out. So you'd think that not only would it be about him learning to express himself, talk about his feelings, to open up more to his friends, but also learning to accept himself and be okay with himself. But it's not about that. Instead, he gives him a 3,000-year-old girlfriend, actually 4,000, I think, a 4,000-year-old girlfriend, and so he never really learns to be content with himself, being single and all that. He never learns, and likewise, he doesn't learn to, he does not learn to talk about his feelings. He never does. He stays bottled up for the rest of the series. It's almost like Rick doesn't think that that's a problem. It's like it's not, or at least he thinks it's not. So, yeah, you'd think that would be his growth and development, but it's not. It's just not. And likewise, he just ran out of stuff to do with Hazel after House of Hades. And, it's frustrating. There's so much stuff that's not there that it should be there. And I feel like we're missing half the book. The stuff that I like the adventures that they go on in that book, and I like the scenes. I like to reread that book. It's a fun book to read, but it's missing half the book, and I just feel so frustrated when I see, Piper, suddenly she's like this master of charm speak, and suddenly, she's this badass warrior, but we didn't get to really see how she grew into that. Yeah. Frank, his situation with the relatives and pilots, it's not really resolved at all.
Yeah, no, it's just like, this happened. Time to move on.
Yeah. Percy and Annabeth, their trauma after Tartarus, it's acknowledged but not really explored. So, it's frustrating. And that's part of one of the problems in Trials of Apollo. I love Trials of Apollo, but he introduces all these characters back, but we don't get to dive into their issues. Like I said, the fact that he has so many characters who are so interesting and people are so invested in them kind of shoots him in the foot. Because you introduce Leo and Calypso's relationship drama in the Dark Prophecy. I almost said the Dirt Prophecy. You introduce that, and people are like, oh, that's interesting. I want to know more about that. But the problem is they're not the center of the story. They're not the main... The book is about Apollo. So you constantly get kind of teased with stuff that you like to read about, but you don't really get to be fully satisfied. Same with Nico and Will, you get teased with this great relationship, but we don't get to see how it started, how it grew. Because, for instance, in The Hidden Oracle, when they're dating, Nico's like, he doesn't even want to be referred to as Will's boyfriend. Will introduces him, he's like, this is my boyfriend, and Nico's like, can you not? Will is like, puts his arm on his shoulder, and Nico's like, get off,
Yeah.
But then by the time we reach Tower of Nero, he's proudly calling Will his boyfriend, and they're holding hands every 5 seconds. So I would like to see that growth as he slowly learns to accept himself in that relationship. But, the series isn't about them. It's about Apollo. And so there's nothing Rick could have done about it, unless he made them main characters, but they're not main characters. So... it's a problem, He introduced too many interesting characters that he either in Blood of Olympus didn't feel like resolving things with, or in Trials of Apollo he didn't have time to resolve things with, which is a problem. I'm sorry, I just went off. Go on.
No, I've just been reading comments from as well, and I agree with them, wanting justice for Piper. Because she could have been so great, and... they're like, his writing for her was never really that great. And so I was just reading that, I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's weird because, how I said I calculated who narrates the most in those series? Mm-hmm. Piper comes in number 3.
So I knew she was out there whenever
Yeah.
we talked about this.
Yeah. She comes in at number 3. And yet, is that time dedicated to, like, growth development? Not really.
It's just talking about what everybody else is doing.
Oftentimes, they're very repetitive. It starts off with her feeling like, oh, I'm insecure, I feel so awkward, I feel so useless, yada, yada, yada. And then she rises up and she saves the day. But she doesn't really learn and grow from that, because in the very next scene, she's like, I feel so useless, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then she rises up and saves the day. But the thing is, she only does that when nobody else can. And she doesn't take the initiative to become better at these things. She only grows when she's put on the spot like that. Like, I would have liked to see her practicing sword fighting, practicing her charm speak. Same thing with her relationship with Hazel. We never see a single scene of them together, but we're told that they're super tight. Like, we're told that they're super tight, they hang out together, they practice sword fighting together, but we never actually see that happen, which is unfortunate. It's another side effect of the fact that he introduced so many characters that he couldn't realistically achieve everything with. But like I said, I wish things would have been resolved, you know? People often say that they like Percy Jackson and the Olympians better than Heroes of Olympus, and despite all of this, I still say that I like Heroes of Olympus better. Because while Percy Jackson and the Olympians is a more full, complete series, like, things are wrapped up and resolved because it's simpler. It is more simple. When you have a story about one guy and a bunch of other side characters, it's a lot more easy to keep track of things. You don't have a million different subplots running around, so it's very easy to resolve things. So it's a much more complete thing. But on the other hand, Heroes of Olympus introduced so many great characters, so many great scenes, and people are like, it always bothers me when people say that the writing is better in Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and I can just say that's just not true. Like, he'll introduce a scene and be like, yes, there was a tree, and there was a street, and his prose was just not as good. Percy will crack some jokes, but, like, it wasn't as witty. It wasn't as vivid. It wasn't as emotionally resonant. Like, the emotions come more from, like, the fact that, like, for instance, Percy's coming back and telling Nika that his sister's dead. You're gonna feel things from that regardless. But the text itself, the prose, is just not as strong.
Yeah.
It's not as witty. It's not as descriptive. It's just not as good. And I feel like Heroes of Olympus was really where he really started to come into his own as a writer. And Trials of Apollo, you really see, like, the culmination of that. Because the writing in Trials of Apollo, the prose is incredible. It's so, so good.
True.
Yeah. I'm sorry for stealing all this.
No, it's okay.
You have any thoughts on this?
Not that we haven't already discussed.
Yeah. So we've gone for an hour. You think we good to cut it here?
I think it's good to cut.
Okay. If you guys have any ideas for other things we can do for getting awkward with Allison, or for just videos in general, I'd love to hear them. Drop it in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I want Rick Riordan to know that we exist. That's my goal in life, to be acknowledged by Rick. So yeah, I love you all. Okay, bye.